第二位。
嗱，即係國有國法，家有家規，壇有行規。So I'm sorry, one question.
Very short. Just one question.
You can ask, but I think I should give Mr. McCollum's right to reserve not to answer it because I only said one question. So you can pose your question if you like.
Okay. Very short question. When Mr. Martin registered his own company, shipyard company, before he became the Prime Minister of Canada, overseas, and paying less tax, I'm not saying not paying tax, less tax, would you think, personally, would you think this is an act of patriotism?
Would you like to answer that? You can choose not to answer it.
I'll answer briefly.
Okay.
I think Mr. Martin is an extremely patriotic Canadian. The shipping company which he operates follows all of the norms of the industry, and I believe Mr. Martin believes passionately in a future of Canada that includes public healthcare system, an independent role for Canada in the world, lower taxation, and all of these things that make all of the differences as to why I think Canadians should vote Liberal on the 23rd of January.
Okay, Janice can have a take on it since you've been quietly sitting right there, so you can add a comment.
Can I just translate?
Sure. That's right, sorry. Okay, Amy.
OK， 個問題咧就係呢個朋友問咧，即係馬田做咗政領嗰陣時咧，之前咧佢就有間嗰啲郵輪公司嘅，咁佢將呢間公司咧就喺另外一個國家度註冊，咁樣咧變咗可以俾少啲稅。咁你覺唔覺得呢個係一個愛國嘅一個行動咧？咁McCollum 先生咧就話馬田係非常之愛國，非常之愛加拿大嘅。佢做嘅嘢咧，即係嗰個郵輪公司咧，就係其實就係只不過係。根據個行規去做嘅啫，咁而佢咧係即係馬田係相信加拿大嘅將來咧係要一定要有一啲嘅即係公眾嘅呢個健康嘅制度，同埋咧要應該係要少啲嘅俾稅嘅，咁而呢個咧就係即係點解你哋要繼續選自由黨嘅原因。
Okay. Janice Hagan, I know you've been quietly sitting there, so if any questions devoted to Ms. Hagan, feel free to, but I'm going to have a take on this issue.
This issue here, to me, flying another country's flag over your ship to save money on taxes is more offensive than the sponsorship scandal. It's not patriotic at all, and it's time that Canadians started to appreciate the social fabric we have built over 200 years and to see how positive it is. This is why people want to live in Canada. Let's stop destroying it by giving money away to the rich, to those who don't want to pay their fair share. I'm from a farming community. We have a saying back home, I wish I paid $1 million tax a year, because I'd have to be making that kind of money and I would be a very happy person. It's time those who have give for the rest of us so we can build a good, strong country for the future for our children, not just squander it all like very irresponsible playboys.
Thank you. Amy.
我覺得咧喺俾我自己嘅船咧係企個旗艦咧係飛人哋國家嘅旗咧係呢啲咁嘅做法咧係非常之唔愛國，比我哋嗰個sponsorship scandal 醜聞咧係更加之壞嘅一個行動嚟嘅。咁我覺得咧，我哋應該係真係身為加拿大人係要開始係知道我哋加拿大嘅呢個嘅社會制度嘅重要性。我哋咧係應該要即係令到我哋咧係即係有錢嘅人咧係真係要付出佢哋應份嘅責任。我係本身係一個農業嗰度嘅家庭生長嘅，我哋有句説話咧就話。我希望我有錢去俾100萬嘅稅，因為咧你要有好多錢咧，你先至可以即係話要俾100萬稅。咁所以咧，我哋希望咧就係真係建立一個國家咧，係將所有嘅人可以公平平等咁去生活嘅。多謝。
下一題問題係劉光英。The next question goes to Ying Ho.
This question is directed to Mr. Joe Lee. Mr. Lee, you are perfectly familiar with Markham riding and has been here for many years and you know your constituency well. My question to you, sir, is because this is a hard-working new Canadian kind of citizenship here, what do do you consider to be the most important several priorities that if you are elected to the Conservative government that you would consider for the people of Markham Indian?
Okay, you probably know the answer. You have the pin here, but OK， 呢題問題咧係俾李國賢先生嘅，就係話咧，如果你係當選成為國會議員喺萬錦市選區嘅話，咁你對呢一個萬錦選區你最關心嘅，你個 priority， 你最關心嘅係咩問題咧？雖然我估佢哋已經知啊，因為佢帶住你嘅襟章，不過你都可以答嘅。請講 ，OK， 個菜。
That's a very good question, Ying. You know, McCollum has been elected twice already, and he's part of the government. You know, he was unable to recognize the wrong that's done to the Chinese community. We have a big issue in Markham. The traffic from 401 to Highway 7 take almost like over an hour to drive up here. He is part of the government, never provided any solution. Under the Conservative government, we'll make sure that the infrastructure is built or to Highway 7 from Yonge Street. Later on, we may extend to 9 Mile along Highway 7 to relieve the congestion of the traffic. And also, under the Conservative government, we will make sure that corruption and entitlement will be a part of the history. It will never ever happen again. And the crime will be punished severely. Minimum mandatory sentences will be handed out to those people who grow a house in Markham. This is a big issue. Today, under the Liberal government, you can walk in for 1 month and then be released again, and then you can start your business again, make $1 million on a grow house.
Okay.
That is totally unacceptable.
唔該曬，李國賢先生。
McCollum 先生咧已經2次當選，佢係呢個自由黨嘅政府嘅之一，但係一路以嚟咧都唔可以咧解決我哋 Markham 嘅問題嘅。其中一個問題咧就係交通問題，由401嘅公路到呢個7號嘅公路嗰度咧，係成日都有好多嘅交通擠塞。咁因為咧就係我哋嘅機構嗰個架構係做得唔好，所以我哋做咗，如果我上場嘅話咧，我一定會幫呢個解決呢個交通擠塞嘅問題。另外一方面咧就係話，我哋保守黨咧係一定會停止所有嘅貪污再發生，呢個貪污咧就變成一個歷史嘅問題。另外咧犯罪嘅問題咧喺Markham 都係好緊要嘅，所以我哋咧就會加強呢個罪案嘅呢個懲罰，例如就有呢個 mandatory sentencing， 變咗咧我哋可以減少罪案嘅發生。
OK，
McCollum 先生點睇呢件事咧
I think I should give you Mr. McCollum to have a short response on that, since you have been 2-term MP in the riding.
Well, thank you. I will just respond very briefly on this notion of extending the subway to up to Highway 7 and then eastwards, perhaps. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but Joe Lee can promise whatever he wants. The problem he has is that his party is entirely and 100% opposed to any such idea because they regard that as provincial jurisdiction. They regard that as an area from which the federal government should withdraw. So Joe Lee may want that all he likes, but if you elect a Conservative government, there's no way they're going to provide the kind of funding for infrastructure that the Liberal government has provided over the last 5 years to fund things like the GO Transit, which we have improved, and the Viva, for which we've contributed funding. Those are not priorities of the Conservative government. So if that's the way you want to go to reduce traffic gridlock, the last party you would vote for is the Conservative Party of Canada.
Okay, thank you.
我想接一條問題。
Okay, Edie.
OK， 當然阿 Joe Lee 咧，佢自己個人所講嘅咧，佢話要即係整即係公共嘅交通咧，我唔係唔同意㗎，我贊成嘅。但係問題咧就係 Joe Lee 係保守黨嘅，佢自己嘅黨本身咧係唔贊成增加呢啲嘅公眾交通嘅，所以如果就算 Joe Lee 講乜都好咧，佢自己嘅黨咧係唔會去俾經費去做呢啲嘢嘅。但係咧，自由黨喺過去5年咧就俾咗好多經費去改善我哋嘅公眾交通，例如咧就係個 GO Transit。所以咧，如果你係真係關心我哋交通問題咧，最後一個黨你要支持嘅咧就係保守黨。
Thank you, Edie.
係我呢度有一公
呢個讀者來信係問呢個麥卡倫嘅，佢話咧就係麥卡倫一直好重視對呢個華社嘅呢個搞好關係，但係佢重視嘅咧係同華人社團嘅一啲精英領袖，而唔係同我哋華人社群嘅大部分人一齊搞好呢個關係同埋溝通。舉個例子，佢話喺今年初嘅時候咧，本地一份華人報紙大中報 Chinese News Group 嘅記者賈玲陽先生 Jack 去採訪你嘅時候咧，你曾經將你嘅腳放喺咗你嘅辦公台上嚟接受佢嘅採訪。咁呢個記者提出，如果係其他嘅主流媒體，你會唔會將你隻腳放喺個台面上邊呢？你呢個行為係咪真正咁樣體現咗你唔重視同一般嘅民眾進行呢個溝通呢？
Andy Wu is the editor-in-chief of the Toronto City newspaper, and he got a letter to the editor from his newspaper, a question to Mr. McCollum. Let me take a look. Okay. According to a Chinese reporter from a Chinese community newspaper, 大中報 Chinese news group, who has done a one-on-one interview with you. The reporter's name is Jack Jia. He said that when you were talking to him, first of all, you mentioned in a lot of occasions that you treasure your relationship with the Chinese community and Chinese Canadians. And according to Mr. Jia, the reporter, he said when you were talking to him during the interview, you have put your feet on the desk while talking to him. And the community and the readers were shocked as such an arrogant behavior. And he asked you, should an MP behave this way? And if the CBC interviewed you, would you put your feet on the desk as well?
My behavior would be entirely the same whether I was talking to a Canadian Caucasian reporter, a Chinese reporter, Indian reporter, it doesn't matter.
So you will put your feet in front of the CBC
all
reporter?
people are the same in my view, and I have since had a very positive conversation with that reporter in question, and we had a very positive interview, and I think he would agree with my statement that we had a very cordial and proper interview.
Okay, Amy.
我嘅
係個事件係點咧？究竟
？OK， 我嘅行為咧就係、就算我係面對一個白人嘅記者，或者一個華人記者，或者印度人嘅記者，都係一樣嘅。咁所有嘅人喺我嘅眼中都係一樣嘅。咁而如果你問嗰個記者咧，佢都可以話俾佢聽咧，我哋嗰個係一個好即係一個好友善同埋好有好 positive， 即係好正面嘅一個嘅談話嚟嘅。
嗰位記者後尾喺報紙上寫咗話，佢覺得對佢係好唔尊重。
The reporter who talked to you, Mr. McCollum, wrote in his reporter and sent letter to the editor to other newspapers saying that according to what you said, it was a good, friendly conversation. What he wrote to the public is that he felt he did not feel the respect from you. He felt disrespected. And I think he would probably be surprised if you said you would treat other reporter, Caucasian, Indian the same way. So that means, would you put your feet on the desk in front of CBC, CTV reporters as well?
I would. In certain circumstances, if one is in a relaxed atmosphere, I might. But my point is that I had a very positive discussion with this gentleman in a subsequent interview, and we
so the reporter is lying. Disrespectful.
No.
Okay.
I am saying there were two incidents. There was the first interview, and that is the one on which you are reporting. And my answer is I would treat every reporter the same and show no discrimination one way or the other. And the other point I made is that in a later, subsequent interview, the two of us sorted out any differences and had a very positive discussion.
Okay, Haley.
喺某種情況之下，即係我好放鬆嘅情況之下咧，我係會擺我個腳上台嘅。咁咧就係、我同嗰位記者咧就講過2次嘅談話。咁第一次就係你講緊嗰個情況，但係咧我哋都之後咧亦都有談過話。咁但係我就會重申一次咧，我同佢談話係非常之嘅，即係一個好友善嘅談話。我係完全冇歧視嘅成分存在嘅。
Thank you, Mr. McCollum. Thank you, Avi. This question is going to Alan Wu.
我本身咧就香港移民嚟嘅，咁咧我過去咧就都係投自由黨嘅，但係咧我今次咧我有個問題咧就係覺得我有啲唔多考慮，點解咧？因為我依家發覺咧特別我哋最崇拜嘅 John McCollum 咧，過去佢咧就係原來佢唔係住喺我選區嘅，原來我住喺巴琴咁多年，佢原來唔係住喺我選區，同埋咧。佢對我哋華人咧，你睇下呢片嘢冚唪唥都係講印度人有，其他嘢族裔有，但係我哋華人有60萬，但係佢冇講到嘅。咁我覺得作為而家我轉向阿 Jolie， 我想問下，假設你喺 Conservative， 而家我唔知你點樣選出嚟嘅，我真係唔知。你最好話俾我聽，你點樣可以代表到 Conservative 嚟選，同埋你點樣可以代表我哋60萬華人喺呢個國會有一個議席咧？若果你選到。
OK， 都要公平起見咧，要講一句Alan Wu 先生咧係Jolie 嘅競選助手嚟嘅 ，but it's still fine you ask the question。
唔係喎，
你唔係啊？
我唔係喎。
咁你俾錯了我啦。
係咪競選？唔係，因為我唔係。哦 ，OK。
Okay, good. So this question is two parts. The first part is criticism against Mr. McCollum, then a question to Jolie. But to be fair, I think if Mr. McCollum can, if you would like to respond to that, I would give you a chance to do that. First of all, the audience mentioned that you have been the MP of this riding, but you do not live in the riding. And he even showed the pamphlet of your party's pamphlet, even though there's so many, that 37% I believe of the Chinese live in this riding. But reading through your pamphlet, he can read all other ethnicities and your relationship with them or the photos. I hope I get this right, but correct me if I'm wrong. He find nothing about Chinese in it. Is it Avi? Is it what okay, that's what he said. So this is the criticism part, but I'm going to ask Joe's question first. If Mr. McCollum would like to respond to that, you're very welcome to do so. 我哋俾嗰個批評吸引住嘅一個問題 Avi, did you know the question?
即係基本上佢English. Okay, he wants to know if Joe, if you're elected, like exactly. He said, I don't really understand how you got elected. Like, you know, if you're elected, what are you going to do for the people in this riding, basically?
Your turn, Mr. Lee.
Well, actually, that's a very good question. You see, as I said, Conservative Party is the most democratic party in this country here. I have to go through a process of nomination. Unlike McCollum, he's just been appointed to run in Markham. I have to be challenged by my constituent, and the membership elected me twice to represent them for the next parliament. You know, coming back to the question to Alan, you know, it's it's very interesting you ask this question. The local government always claim to reflect diversity. I disagree with McCollum when he said that his government is protective of multiculturalism. That's totally wrong, because it was under the Brian Mulroney government in 1986 that we created the Department of Multiculturalism. The Liberal Party, since the creation of Canada, they have never ever allowed a single Chinese Canadian to run for the party in the province of Ontario. So ask them how much they love for the Chinese community. They want you only to vote for them. They don't want you to be the master of your own house. So if you have a chance, vote for me in the next election. I will bring your voice to Parliament. I will make sure the Chinese community will be respected. I will fight for your benefit. I will represent the whole community in Markham, all sections of the community.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee. Amy.
我哋嘅保守黨咧就有個好民主嘅競選嘅方法，我係要即係同其他人爭，即係有個競選嘅程序咧，先至做佢哋嘅候選人嘅。咁唔係好似呢個嚴志良講咁樣嘅。咁呢個自由黨政府咧就話佢哋咧係代表呢個嘅多元文化，但係呢個係唔係呢個正確嘅講法嚟嘅。係其實咧，譬如話我哋嘅多元文化嘅部門咧，係我哋嘅門龍嚟嘅政府喺1986年先成立嘅。而呢個自由黨咧，由建國以嚟咧，係從來未試過係任何一個華人嘅候選人咧，喺安省係被競選，即係做佢哋嘅代表嘅。咁同埋咧， 呢個自由黨咧，淨係想攞你嘅票，但係佢唔覺得你應該做呢個嘅呢個國家嘅主人。所以如果你俾我一個機會嘅話咧，我會努力咁樣代表華人社區，同埋努力咁樣代表所有住喺呢個社區嘅人。
Thank you, Amy. OK， 咁睇問下麥嘉廉先生有冇興趣想回應下佢唔係住喺佢選區，雖然佢呢區國會議員，同埋話佢嗰個競選嗰個嘅小冊子裏面咧係冇華人嗰個嘅影蹤喺裏面啊。陳述係啦。So Mr. McCollum, would you like to respond to the point, to the accusation, I guess, that you do not live in this riding, even you're the MP of Markham Unionville, and what about the no Chinese representation in your pamphlet? Would you like to respond on that?
I'd be very happy to respond to both. The fact of the matter is there was a story in the Markham paper recently that none of the 4 candidates lived in the riding. The fact of the matter is I believe I'm the only one at this table who has a residence in the riding. So I don't think that's a very good subject for my colleague Jolie to raise. But the most crazy idea is that I somehow have little association with the Chinese community. I'm with the Chinese community all the time. I visited China on official visits 3 times, and to top it all off, my wife is Chinese. My son is in China now learning Chinese. How could I possibly be anti-Chinese?
Yeah, that I'm sure because I saw your picture on the website of National Congress of Chinese Canadians as well, so that I can sure. Amy, your turn to translate Mr. McCollum's comment.
根據最近有一段報道咧，其實咧4個呢度嘅候選人咧，即係呢個區嘅候選人冇一個係住喺 Markham 㗎。咁我咧就其實個人嚟講咧，我同呢個華人嘅社區嘅關係非常之密切㗎。我經常咧即係同佢哋有關係啦。我嘅太太自己本身咧係華人嚟嘅，我個仔而家咧就喺中國咧係學緊中文嘅。咁啊，李家豪先生亦都有講咧，就係McCollum 咧個樣咧就喺呢個華聯會嘅呢個網址上面都有佢嘅相嘅。
咁3位在座嘅3位係咪真係唔喺Markham度住咧？
So Jolie, you do not live in this riding, according to Mr. McCollum.
Actually, I want to pose McCollum a question.
I answer that question first. Do you live in the riding?
I already stated I live in Scarborough, but McCollum claimed to live in Markham. I would like him to provide the address where he lived in Markham.
No. Can you repeat that?
I said McCollum claimed to live in Markham. I would like him to tell the audience the address where he lived in Markham.
Wait a minute. I'm going to tell how he come from.
No, Mr. McCollum did not claim he lived in Markham.
Wait a minute. I'm the liberal. I know how the Jones come from. Everybody want to listen? I'm going to tell this.
Sorry, you have to sign up if you would like to make a comment. Sorry about that. But anyway,
I can make one very quick comment.
Of course.
The thing is, I have 3 residences, but I think this is a bit of a useless debate, as I think the gentleman was perhaps suggesting, because the important thing is not where you sleep at night. The important thing is what you do for the ride. And my argument is that I am doing a lot for the ride.
麥嘉廉先生就係話咧，喺邊度瞓覺夜晚係冇所謂㗎，最緊要係幫唔幫到個選區做到嘢。Do you agree? To sleep in Scarborough, Jolie.
Jolie，你晚上係咪喺Markham度瞓覺先
Do you sleep in Markham?
At least I'm honest to say I don't live in Markham. But McCollum claimed to live in Markham, but he cannot provide the address where he lived in Markham. So, you know, like, at least I'm honest.
Okay, Janice, do you sleep in Markham?
I sleep in Markham. I've slept in Markham for the last 16 years. I live on the other side of McCowan, though, to be honest, so I don't get to vote for myself, and neither does my husband, but I can walk to this riding in about 2 minutes, and if I win, I will move across the street.
Amy, 喺邊度瞓覺最緊要咧？唔該，你綜合講下啦。
McCollum 咧就話咧佢有3個地址嘅，咁而呢個 Joe 咧就話咧佢係好誠實咁樣講咧，即係佢係住喺士嘉堡嘅，咁但係咧就佢Joe 就話咧佢話 McCollum 話佢係住喺 Markham，Janice 咧就話咧佢係住喺 Markham，佢咧夜晚黑瞓喺 Markham 瞓咗16年啦，咁咧佢就唔係住喺呢個區嘅，咁係隔離嗰條街嘅，咁佢行2分鐘咧就可以行到呢個區啦。如果真係要嘅話咧，咁佢就會 搬嚟隔離呢條街咁住喺呢個區。
OK，thank you。想好快跟進李國賢先生同麥嘉廉先生，如果你今次真係當選啦，會唔會選擇夜晚喺 Markham 瞓呢？Okay, a follow-up question to Mr. Lee and Mr. McCollum. If you get elected this time after January 23rd, will you choose to sleep in Markham, Mr. McCollum?
Some days I do sleep in Markham. I have a residence in Markham and elsewhere.
But you see, the question is, the answer is still not being provided. He don't tell you where the address is. But I will give you a clear answer. When you elect me on January 23rd, within 12 months, I will move to Markham. I work, most of my time in Markham. If you want to know Markham in and out, I'm a better person. Unlike McCollum, he has 5 years to make up his mind whether he wants to move to and stay in Markham or not. So you have a clear choice now, a commitment to come and represent the people in Markham Union. Whereas McCollum, he only speaks just like most liberals, but once you get elected, they will never honor the promise. Thank you.
Okay, Markham speaker Janice would like to make a point on
I just want to say that I have delivered pizzas in Markham. I have coached kids in soccer on every field in Markham and Unionville, and I take a bit of exception to saying that I'm not the person who knows Markham the best. If you want to get from one street to another, I think I can get there a lot faster. I know the people here, I know the parents. I volunteered in the schools of Markham. I have kids attending more than one high school in Markham, and I do know Markham very well.
Okay, thank you. Amy.
OK， Joe，sorry McCollum 先啦，McCollum 就話咧我有時喺 Markham 瞓覺嘅，有時喺第二度瞓覺。咁Joe 咧就話咧，如果佢一選到咧，喺1月13號你選佢話咧，佢就12個月之內咧就會搬嚟 Markham。咁但係咧McCollum 咧就已經嚟咗咁多年啦，佢有咁多嘅時間可以搬嚟，佢都冇邊度嚟。Janice 咧就話咧，佢咧就唔單止係喺度McCollum喺 Markham 瞓覺啦，佢仲喺 Markham 咧就教細路仔踢波啦。佢咧同埋咧佢Joe就因為頭先Joe就話佢知佢係 Markham 嘅地道蟲嚟嘅，但係咧地頭蟲嚟嘅，但係Janice 話咧我比Joe更清楚 Markham， 因為我嘅細路仔咧喺呢度讀過中學，我同呢度嘅家長有做過嘢，我有喺學校嗰度做義工，所以咧我係真正係呢度嘅地道蟲。
But one thing I'm sure, I do sleep in Markham every night. Okay. 咁咧就我想問下3位候選人願唔願意咧剔多3位嘅選民嘅問題嘅。I just want to ask all 3 candidates, would you agree to take 3 questions from 3 more voters? Would that be fine with you? 3 more voters.
So we leave 4?
Yeah. Would you like to? Would you be agreed to take 3 more voters' questions? Quick questions. Sure. Okay. 要盡快啦。
盡快，你哋嘅問題要簡短。
Chuan Lee 同埋 Susan Ing。Chuan Lee. Dachang Lee. Sorry, it's Dachang.
Okay. Good afternoon. My first question for Mr. Lee. What is the PC's position on relationship between China and Canada? What is PC's position on relationship between China and Canada? My second question for Mr.
No, one question to one candidate. Sorry, that will be it. Thank you, Amy.
呢個問題即係俾Joe Lee 嘅，佢想知道咧保守黨嘅立場對於加拿大同中國嘅關係嘅立場係乜嘢
？Well, our party always recognize one China policy, and when you elect the Conservative government, we will work and help to build that relationship even then stronger than under the current Liberal government.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
我哋嘅政黨咧係支持一個中國嘅呢個嘅政策嘅。如果你係選咗保守黨之後咧，我哋會更加加強同中國嘅關係。
Thank you。跟住係 ，Thank you。Okay， 係Chuan Lee。
My question is for both the Liberal Party and the NDP Party, if they would like to comment.
Only one question to one candidate.
Well,
sorry.
Okay,
Pick a hard choice.
Whoever would like to comment. So global climate change is a very important issue, and the Kyoto Protocol was ratified by the Jean Chrétien government last year. So I was wondering if either the Liberal Party or the NDP Party has a plan to make sure that the goals in Kyoto are reached by the specified deadline of 2012. Because as you know, just the ratification of Kyoto is useless if nothing further is done about it.
Okay, 青年朋友想問啲環境環保嘅問題。So no one. Okay, ladies. Okay, Janice, have a question.
Thank you to John for letting me answer this.
A 翻譯先。
Oh, sorry.
問題咧就係話咧環保嘅問題啦。咁而呢個嘅 Kyoto 呢個環保嘅呢個 Kyoto 嘅呢個協議咧就係呢個嘅克里前政府簽嘅。咁咧我哋想知道咧呢個新民主黨或者係自由黨咧，佢哋點樣可以確保咧到2012年嗰陣時咧，可以真係實施到呢個 Kyoto 嘅呢個協議嘅。
Thank you. Janice, your turn.
I know that the environment is the biggest issue for the young people in Canada, and that's why I've gone back to school to take my master's in ecology and social change, and I hope to learn a lot more about it. The NDP will have a Clean Air Act, a Clean Water Act, and will stop the self-regulating of companies. We need outside people regulating companies, how much they're polluting, and we need to make sure the polluters pay. We need to clean up Canada now so that, I grew up swimming in Lake Erie. We can't swim there anymore. This is not right. We need to save these great resources for our
grandchildren. Thank you, Ms. Hagan of the NDP.
OK， 呢個環保我知道咧，對於好多年青人咧，環保係一個最重要嘅問題，所以咧我就專登翻去學校讀書攞咗個學士咧，就係呢個環境嘅學嘅。咁我哋如果新民主黨上場咧，我哋就有一個清潔空氣、清潔水嘅一個嘅法例，等到嗰啲公司咧就有其他即係從外面嘅人咧去管制佢哋。如果啲即係真係污染環境嘅人咧，一定要係即係對佢哋嘅行為咧作出賠償嘅。咁而我咧由細到大咧就本來咧就喺個 Lake Erie 游水嘅，而家咧水污糟到咧都唔可以喺度游水，所以我哋要保護我哋環境。
Thank you. Before going to the closing remarks, we have the last question from the floor. Susan Ng.
係最後一個問題。
Thank you very much. My question is for Mr. McCallum. My father paid the head tax in 1919. Because of the Exclusion Act, he was not able to marry until 1951. My question to you, Mr. McCallum, also, on account of the fact that you keep saying that you will not give a parliamentary apology and you will not provide individual redress when the courts have already said in 2001 that making an apology does not create any legal liability for the government. Why do you persist and why your government persists in using that excuse not to provide a full apology in Parliament to head taxpayers and to provide direct redress for the surviving head taxpayers and their spouses?
呢位朋友係人頭稅共同家屬主席伍素平。Translate Susan Ng's question.
咁伍信平咧就話咧，我爸爸咧就係一個人頭稅苦主，佢咧就係1919年嗰陣時咧就俾咗人頭稅，但係因為排華法咧，去到1951年咧先至可以結婚。咁Colin先生，你一路咧就話咧你唔贊成政府要道歉，亦都唔贊成個人賠償，但係我哋大家都知道咧，係呢個加拿大嘅加拿大嘅最高法院咧已經係判咗咧話，就算政府咧係冇法律嘅責任去賠償，點解你繼續係用呢一個嘅法律責任呢個嘅藉口咧，唔去作出個人賠償同埋道歉？咁所以我想知道咧，你點解唔會提供個人賠償俾人頭稅嘅苦主同埋佢嘅家庭
？Mr. McCallum.
Yes. Well, I believe that the government of Canada did the right thing when the Prime Minister apologized and when the Prime Minister spoke about the unacceptability of this act. And I think it's also the right thing to provide the $2.5 million for educational purposes, to educate Canadians about this, and to ensure that it does not happen again. But as I said before, I think once you get into individual compensation for all the wrongs of every country's history, you're opening a Pandora's box. You're setting down a path to which there is no end. Every country has blemishes in its record. If we of today were to take responsibility for every bad thing that all of our ancestors ever did, then we would be in a morass, we would be in a never-ending set of litigations and paying out money, and I do not think that is the way that Canada should go.
In your riding?
Why not the Liberal of Canada don't do that? The German government take the responsibility to give apologize to the Jews and also give compensation to the Jews.
唔好意思啦，真係 OK。
嘅提問咧就到呢度啦。咁咧頭先我哋覺得即係每一個參選嘅人咧都係對呢個國家希望就為呢個國家貢獻。
Okay, now we're giving time for AV Go. We are time for AV Go to do the translation. If you want to hear the candidates, let's give a mic to
It seems like most people understand the answer. Okay, so 頭先嘅 Callum 咧就話咧我覺得呢個馬田總理道歉係正確嘅，佢俾250萬出嚟去做教育資金，亦都係正確嘅。我唔覺得個人賠償係正確嘅。你一開始賠償一個社區咧，就所有無止境嘅其他社區會出嚟賠償。每一個國家都做咗好多係過去歷史上嘅錯誤嘅，我哋唔可以咁樣開始咁樣去道歉落去嘅。咁所以咧，如果唔係咁咧，就一路就會打公司嘅，因為係唔會完嘅呢件事。
Okay, thank you, Amy. 係啦，時間咧就差唔多夠，但係之前咧個 concluding remark 之前咧，
我哋呢個第二 part 嘅提問咧就到呢度，咁我哋而家做第3 part 嘅活動。
係啦 ，Okay, before we go and before we head to the closing remarks, a very quick question for all candidates, because since all of you are running for MP for the Markham Unionville riding, this would definitely, I don't know, be an easy question to you, because since you are all running for the riding and for the MP of this riding, there's a paper and a marker in front of you. Please grab it. I'm just going to ask you a very quick question. In Chinese first.
第一個問題咧就係話呢個加拿大嘅總面積有幾多平方？先乜含係乜含市政府第一個成型嘅乜含市政府係邊一年建成？
Okay, you all should know this because you're running for MP of this riding. When did the first form of structured municipal government occur in Markham? Write the year on your paper. When did the first form of structured municipal government occur in Markham?
唔係乜晚黑瞓覺都可以得嘅。
None of us know. None of you guys know. Running for even Mr. McCall, you know?
How about 1972?
No, I'm going to give a hint for all of you. Okay, let me rephrase my question. When did the first form of structured municipal government occur in Markham? When the township of Markham was created. So I'm talking about when the township of Markham was created. No? For all candidates of Markham Unionville riding, when did the first form of structured municipal government occur in Markham? The hint is when the township of Markham was created. I know, you just write on it and hold in front of so that the camera can...
This is the oldest gravestone I have found by searching the graveyards, but that's all I can say. I don't know when the town was started.
Okay.
I know people have lived here for a very long time.
Good job of using question mark, but can Julie do the same thing in front of the camera? Okay, great. Okay, then this will be quick then. The answer is...
係1850年。
Remember, I'm sure you will remember from now on, 1850. Last question.
所以以後多啲喺北行路瞓覺。
Okay, before we go, the very last question.
如果第一個問題係對於關於北行市比較生疏嘅話，我諗第二個問題咧應該係每一個加拿大人都應該了解同埋知道嘅，就係加拿大嘅總面積有幾多平方公里。
Okay, last question. Since all of you, even though you, maybe I know I understand that because majority of you do not sleep in Markham, so that is understandable. But since all of you are distinguished Canadians, and all of your party leaders said that they love Canada, let me ask you, how big is Canada? The size in square kilometers. You can also write that on the paper. The Because your party leaders claim that you love the country, and I think as Canadian we should know how big is Canada, especially running for the parliament of this country.
Second largest country in the world.
First largest country in the world.
The second largest country in the world.
Who's bigger?
20 million. In square kilometers? Okay. We are talking about what's the answer, Andy?
係9976140平方公里。
So we are talking about 9,976,140 square kilometers. So none of them got even close. I'm sorry, but anyways, can we give a hand to all of the candidates? And of course, AB Gold for a translation. Okay.
好，由多倫多都市報多倫多第一台。
我哋合辦嘅第一都市論壇咧，進入最後一部分就係1分鐘嘅總結。
1分鐘總結係。
Concluding remarks finally from
Jenny.
No, we are doing the same order. So Mr. John McCallum of the Liberal Party. You have 1 minute starting now.
Okay. Well, look, I always enjoy a lively debate, and the opportunity to participate in the first bilingual Cantonese English debate in our history was a great privilege, and I thank you all for being here. I'll just say one other thing. I'm almost out of time. I think the area of Canada is 10 million. I said 20 million. Well, that's because I, like the Liberal Party and Paul Martin, think this country will grow bigger and bigger and better every year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McCallum. Amy.
我好中意咧，就有機會咧，即係好一個好生猛嘅一個嘅即係辯論嘅。咁我亦都好榮幸咧，可以參與一個第一個喺加拿大歷史上嘅一個中英文對答嘅呢個嘅談判啦。咁亦都好多謝大家嚟參加。咁我淨係想加咧，其實加拿大嘅面積咧話係1000萬嘅平方square kilometer。咁點解我話2000萬咧？就係因為我好似我哋總理一樣咧，係希望加拿大越變越大，越變越好。
Thank you, Mr. Joe Lee of the Conservative Party， 保守黨李國賢先生。
Thank you everyone for taking a busy day to come out to listen to the debate. If you want law and order, end of government corruption and entitlement, recognize the wrongful act of the past Liberal government on the head tax issue, recognize the parent should make the best choice in the child care. On January 23rd, vote for change. Vote for Joe Lee, your next member of parliament. Thank you.
好多謝大家出嚟啦。咁咧如果你係相信我哋一個要有法治嘅國家，你相信我哋應該要停止所有嘅貪污，你相信政府應該承認對人投稅嘅錯誤，你相信家長有咁樣嘅權力去選擇佢哋子女嘅照顧嘅話咧，咁喺1月23號咧，你就要為呢個改變而投票，你應該投票我作為你嘅代表。
Thank you. Last but not least， 新民主黨 Janice Hagan of the NDP.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you've said about me. I hope you will consider me for your vote on January 23rd. I will work very hard for Markham. I'm very in love with democracy. I love that about our system. I think that a representative should not be representing their party to their people, but should be representing their people to the party and to the parliament. And that's the kind of representation I'll give you. I'll make sure that you see me often, that we are having public meetings so you can hear about the issues, know what's going on, and help me make decisions instead of me telling you what some party decided to do. I'm hoping it's another minority government because I think that works very well with Canada. I don't think we need serial dictatorships. Let's have a government where people have to work together representing the diversity of Canada, and let's put in some more NDP MPs.
Mr. Hagan. Thank you.
我希望你會考慮投我神聖嘅一票，我會為你哋非常努力嘅工作。我係熱愛民主，我覺得咧 一個候選人咧係唔應該係代表佢嘅黨去喺佢嘅人民面前代表佢講，而係應該喺個黨面前代表嗰啲人民。係呢啲咁樣嘅政府係我贊成嘅政府。我希望咧，我哋有個機會咧，在位嚟嘅代表咧，你會成日都見到我會開公眾大會，等你有個機會話俾我聽，我應該做啲咩嘅。我唔覺得我哋應該有一黨嘅專政，我覺得我哋嘅國家、我哋嘅政府係應該代表所有嘅人，同埋代表所有嘅種族嘅人嘅。
Thank you, Miss Hagan. Thank you, Amy.
幾個鐘頭嘅呢個激辯咧，就證明我哋係正貨啊！
係咪先？
正貨，大家會唔會收唔收貨？好啦，感謝咁多位出席，由多倫多都市報、多倫多第一台同埋城市廣場主辦、多倫多網上電視協辦嘅第一都市論壇一次真正有候選人出席答辯嘅論戰到此結束。感謝 John McCallum、Janice Hagan 同埋 Joe Lee 3位嘉賓嘅出席，同埋台上協助翻譯嘅律師。仲有台下所位參加呢次活動嘅朋友，呢次討論戰嘅詳細內容請留意1月13日出版嘅第37期多倫多都市報，同埋下星期六中午12點 AM1540多倫多第一台聯邦選戰論壇特輯，同埋多倫多網上電視 www.TorontoTV.org 嘅後續報導。最後我哋呼籲就係無論你選擇邊一個黨，請珍惜你手中嘅投票嘅權利，積極咁參與1月23日嘅聯邦大選。
Please give a big hand to all our candidates and of course Amy Go, our interpreter. Thank you very much.
多謝各位。
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
The first thing I want to do is I want to set up a schedule of meetings with the people of Markham so I can get input, so I can explain the really important issues that the government is dealing. But I want to set up a formal process so people know where to get me, how to talk to me, and can feel more involved in the politics of this country. It is a democratic country, and it's about time we started acting like one.
If you win the election, what's the first thing you want to do?
If I win, maybe have a little break.
That's it? Like not dinner with your wife or the kids?
Well, here's my wife. I think we're working very hard on the election. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do after the election. We're sparing no effort, taking nothing for granted, working day in, day out to get elected. After that, perhaps we'll have a little break.
And we will try to address the credentials for vote.
Joe, 如果你贏咗咧，第一件事你想做咩？
嚇？
如果你贏咗呢個 election 咧，第一件事你想做乜嘢？
第一個事咁咪做好似係佢喺國會咪應承咗話會喺國會向華人道歉嗰個關於人頭稅嘅問題啦，同個華人社區坐低傾下偈，點樣係嗰個正確嘅嗰個數目啦，關於賠償嘅問題。OK， 跟接過嚟呢就係想快啲，好似係個 speed up 嗰個家庭嗰個 unification 嘅 issue 啊，而家好似係再等6年、7年、8年 OK， 太耐啦 OK， 更需要嗰個名嘅話，我諗係最多係1-2年咧，應該 approve 俾佢嚟加嚟。多謝晒。
我問題咧就話，如果你贏咗咧，你點樣慶祝呢個 victory？
Joseph， 我而家仲唔敢諗到咁遠 OK， 我會尊重加拿大嘅選民1月23號嘅投票 OK。如果佢哋要俾我一次機會嘅話，我會盡量效力我個 Markham Unit 嘅市民。
我 question 係 ，Will you take a shower or go shopping or what?
I will take it easy and maybe sit down quietly 同我個太太好好，因為我呢幾個月都好辛苦再參加，好少係見我太太個家庭。我第一個係坐低同我太太嗰度喺一個食一餐飯 OK。
Andy， 今次你哋呢個第一論壇咧，似乎好激烈，你有咩睇法？
係我覺得呢次論壇咧係相當 充分清晰咁顯示咗呢個華人投入同埋參與呢個聯邦大選嘅一個最高。以我咁多年嘅感覺呢，就係呢次係最激烈同埋最參與最積極嘅一次。我估計係因為人頭稅啊同埋媒體不斷咁樣去關注呢個問題，呢個係好嘅開端。因為通過呢個我哋不斷去製造呢啲咁嘅機會，通過一個平台提供俾每一個參選嘅參與選同佢哋嘅市民見面，同佢嘅選民見面，能夠使加強雙方嘅溝通咯。而且我覺得咧就話呢次有個比較係加拿大歷史上第一次用中英文嚟進行主持嘅，有真正嘅參選人參加嘅一個論壇。呢個論壇咧就係打開咗一個局面，而且發出咗一個信號，就係華人對參選對政治嗰種唔關心咧已經係結束。我哋將會從呢度開始去進入到呢個整個國家嘅政治生活裏邊去。
李家華，今次呢個論壇非常成功喎，你有咩睇法？
多謝你先。咁其實咧好難得今次個機會咧，真係由候選人可以親身可以即係去面對群眾啦。咁群眾亦都可以去問佢哋關心嘅問題向候選人。呢一個叫第一類接觸嘅機會咧，真係好難得。咁亦都可能係因為呢一個原因啦，咁令到今日咧真係高朋滿座啦，即係全部係座無虛席嘅。